If you want to grow faster on social media, I'm going to explain exactly how to do it. Because the truth is, if you run a business and are struggling to grow, you're probably just approaching the content game with a suboptimal strategy. Now, here's the secret. The most common mistake business owners make is that they're spread too thin. You're on so many platforms, so many shiny objects, you try to be everywhere, but nothing ends up working. And the reason is because you're doing too many things too poorly. All you really need to build a massive business is a single content engine on one social platform. That's it. So in this video, I'm gonna break down the full process for how to actually figure out what content strategy you should be running for your business. And this ensures you're making the right content on the right platform so the right viewers become the right buyers. By the way, my name's Kallaway. I have 1 million followers, I've done 1 billion views, and content is all I do all day long. Okay, now before I break down the content strategy process, let me just remind you of the goal. As a business owner, all we need to do is build a single content engine. Think of a content engine like a magic box. We put a fixed amount of time making content in one side, and then as it runs, we get an exponentially increasing number of customers out the other. It's literally a money printer. If we can make one of these, we win big. So if you're a business owner, the $1 million question is this: how can I build a content engine without wasting a ton of time, money, and effort? And here's the answer. The most important step in building a sustainable content engine is figuring out where to play. And what this really means is spending the time to pick the right content platform and the right content type that will work best for your business. Because that's the funny thing. Picking where to play is actually way more important than figuring out how to play. A weak fisherman in a pond full of fish is gonna eat better than an expert fisherman in an empty one. So I'm gonna walk through a 4-step filtering process to help you figure out which content platform and content type you should be making for your business. All right, so in this first step, all we're gonna do is understand our options. Remember, ultimately, we're gonna end up picking a single content platform and a single content type. Okay, so for social platforms, you have these 10 options: Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Snapchat, LinkedIn, X, Threads, Substack, and Spotify. And for content types, you have these 8 options: short text, long text, short form video, medium form video like on YouTube, long form video podcasts, audio only podcasts, static images, and then ephemeral or expiring stories. Now let's link all of those platforms and all of those content types together to figure out the full list of options we have to choose from. And I'm not gonna read every single one out loud, but just so you can see what we're doing here. On Instagram, you could do static images, ephemeral Instagram stories, or short form videos. On TikTok, you could do ephemeral stories or short form videos, and so on, all the way down. Essentially, there are 31 different combinations that you could pick from to build a content engine. And remember, we're gonna get down to a single combination, and I'm gonna explain all the way through how to think about the logic for picking which one works best for your business. Okay, now let's start ruling some of them out that don't make sense to do. All right, first things first, for your hero content engine, if you could only pick one, you definitely want a platform and content type combo that has an algorithm that will push your content to new viewers. This is critical for tapping into the exponentially increasing customers and part of what makes organic content so valuable. As you may have experienced, content is a really hard game if you're limited to only getting eyeballs of people that already follow you. This is content on hard mode. The invention of For You algorithms created a way for you to be able to get strangers to see your content without having them follow you first. So we want to make sure we're taking advantage of that feature as best we can. When we're selecting our hero platform and type combination, we need to make sure there is a discovery feed where new people can see our stuff, and there's an algorithm pushing our stuff to that discovery feed. For that reason, we're going to cross off static images, ephemeral stories, and audio-only podcasts off the list. All 3 of those content types can work to deepen engagement with your existing audience, but they're really not good for getting new viewers into the pipeline. The algorithms just don't work that way for those types of content. Okay, so after crossing all the instances of those 3 content types off the list, this is what we're left with. Next, we're gonna rule out Substack as an option for your primary content channel. And if you don't know Substack, it's an email newsletter platform. As you'll see later, having an email list and a newsletter is a vital back-end component that you wanna pair with one of your hero platform combos. But it's not good as the primary because it doesn't have enough discoverability. So we're crossing it off. We're also gonna cross off Spotify long-form video podcasts as well. There just isn't enough discoverability from scratch for this to be your main content platform. Okay, so now after crossing all that off, we're left with these options. On Instagram, you could do short form videos. On TikTok, you could do short form videos. On YouTube, you could do short form videos, medium form videos like this one, or long form video podcasts. On Facebook, you could do short text posts, long text posts, short form videos, or medium form videos. On Snapchat, you could do short form videos. On LinkedIn, you could do short form text, long form text, short form videos, or medium form videos. On X, you could do short form text, long form text, short form videos, medium form videos, or long form video podcasts. And on Threads, you could do short form text, long form text, and short form video. We've got 8 platforms and 5 content types left, 22 combinations total. One of these combinations is where you want to start playing for your business and build your primary content engine. Okay, now at this point in the video, most people watching are probably thinking the same thing. Bruh, can you just tell me which combination of platform and content type has the most growth with the least effort that'll give me the most results for my business? Everybody's probably thinking that. And I'll tell you my opinion in a second, but the truth is your content strategy should vary based on the type of customer you're attracting for your business. Any person advising you on a content strategy that is one size fits all no matter who you are, they should be fired immediately. The truth is, every single one of the combinations we have left could be a viable strategy for a certain type of business. So now we're gonna go through the foolproof process from here for how you whittle down that list of 22 to the exact right one for you. And before we do that, I just wanna say, if you're a business owner and you're trying to improve your content, you like these types of videos, I built a free community called Wavy World with 25,000 other entrepreneurs. They're all working together to improve their content. There's free trainings, tutorials, guides, everything you need is in there. I've got a free invite link in the description if you wanna join. Okay, now we're moving to step 2. The first step was really just laying out all of the options, seeing the field, and then crossing off the obvious no's. Now we're left with 22 combos. Where do we go from here? Step 2 is to understand what I call the hero conversion type for each platform. And what this means is that each platform has a certain content type that works better than all the others. It grows faster, it pushes it harder, and generally it's the best fit if you're gonna make content for that platform. The platform will push all the other types, but the conversion will be nowhere near as good as the hero conversion type. Think of this like finding the sweet spot where you can unlock the most growth for the least effort on each platform. Okay, here's what the hero conversion type looks like for each platform. On Instagram, the hero conversion type is short form videos with Reels. That's what it's pushing the most right now. On TikTok, the hero conversion type is also short form videos with TikToks. On YouTube, the hero conversion type is medium form videos, 10 to 30 minute videos like this one. On Facebook, it's short form videos with Facebook Reels. On Snapchat, it's short form videos with Snapchat Spotlight. On LinkedIn, it's either short form text or short form videos with the newly launched LinkedIn Shorts product. On X and Threads, it's short form text. So these hero conversion types are the ones that you want to go with if you're making content for that respective platform. They will just push it more and you'll get more bang for buck. This is how people consume mostly on those platforms. It's not to say you can't win with the other content types on those platforms, but it's way easier to win if you pick the hero conversion type. And I feel like nobody explains the logic or rationale behind their take. So let me just quickly explain why for certain platforms, these are the hero conversion type and the ones you want to make. For Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat, it's easy. On our list, short form video is the only one left for those platforms. No debate there. For YouTube, there are some options. We had 3 content types left: shorts, medium form, and long form video podcasts. Now, shorts are pushed really heavily, but they're going to convert poorly. Hero conversion type. If you want them to convert for your business, shorts is not it. And that's because the quality of the view on a YouTube short is just much weaker. People aren't in a buying state when they're watching them. They can make your subscribers look way bigger, way faster, but the conversion will not be there. No legitimate business other than media channels are building only using YouTube shorts. For long form video podcasts on YouTube, these can be insane for conversion, but they're really hard to grow. Channels that are launching long form video podcasts are going to grow 5 to 10 times slower than ones that are dedicating to medium form videos. And that's because psychologically, for a new viewer, 60 minutes on a small channel for one video is a lot to bite off. People just don't click. I really like the long form video podcast angle for a business, but not as the main single content channel to build the first content engine. The happy medium for YouTube is their bread and butter, which is medium form videos like this one. These are 10 to 30 minute, high value, intentionally packaged videos made for YouTube. Now for Facebook, short form video is absolutely crushing right now. Meta saw all the data coming from Instagram Reels and went all in on Facebook Reels. On Facebook, text posts with videos can do well, but it's way harder to grow. You don't get that algorithm push in the same way as you do for Reels. If I want discovery on Facebook, I'm going short form video. Now for LinkedIn, this one is a little bit tougher. LinkedIn just launched their new short form video capability a few months ago, and it's absolutely crushing. This is probably the single biggest untapped content opportunity in the whole game right now. However, because short form video on LinkedIn is so new and the LinkedIn core user around text has been around for so long, text posts still perform really well on LinkedIn. Given the explosion of video, it's much easier to grow on LinkedIn with short form video, but I don't want to rule out the value of short form text. And for X and Threads, the predominant content type on those platforms is short form text, maybe with images or videos kind of linked below the text. Standalone video posts, especially short form, just don't perform that well on Threads or X. And that's because the traditional meta on those platforms is text. That's what people want to consume. That's what they've been consuming. And so that's what works still best on those platforms. Okay, so at this point in the process, step 2 was all about getting comfortable and aware with what the hero conversion type is for each platform. Each one of those that we just talked about, the hero conversion type, has max discoverability and an algorithm that will push your stuff to brand new non-follower viewers so you can grow faster. Okay, now step 3 is where we actually start picking which combination is best for our business. This is the platform audience fit stage. And again, the reason I'm spending so much time giving you the rationale for why you filter the way you filter is because nobody talks about this stuff. And as a business owner, it's helpful to know the logic behind the decision. So step 3 is where we filter. It's the audience filter stage. The most important filter, and this is going to be obvious, is that you have to pick a platform where your buyer actually spends time. Ideally, you pick the platform where the highest density of your buyers spend the most time. If you were to draw pie charts on every social platform with every slice representing a different audience cohort, which pie has the biggest, fattest slice for your business avatar? That's where you want to be playing. So for example, if you sell enterprise sales software, most of your buyers, CROs, are going to be on LinkedIn and maybe YouTube. If you sell chocolate bars to teens, most of your buyers are going to be on TikTok, Snapchat, or Instagram. Picking a platform where your buyers don't spend time is the fastest way to build in the wrong direction. Now, there's 3 ways you can figure out where your buyers spend time. The first way is picking the platform where you, as the business owner, have gotten the majority of your customers from. The second way is just asking your existing customers where they like to consume content most and where they might want to see you make content as a brand in the future. And the third is by researching third-party data, all the different platforms, and trying to get a rough sense of where your audience avatar spends time. Watching in the comments, the shares, and watching who pops as different creators. During this step 3 process, if you realize there's an absolute dominant platform for where your customers are, you should just go all in on playing there. But if your buyer is a large TAM and maybe spends even time across multiple platforms, I'm gonna go through how you decide what the tiebreaker is in 1 second. Since everybody always asks, here's a rough breakdown on which types of businesses are likely to find the most amount of customers on each platform. If you're selling high-ticket B2B services or enterprise SaaS, LinkedIn is gonna be your hero platform. There are 65 million decision makers on LinkedIn, 10 million C-level executives, 84% of marketers say LinkedIn is where they spend the most time. If you're selling developer-first tools, anything crypto, or anything for startups that would appeal to tech Twitter, X is gonna be your hero platform. Those people also probably live on YouTube, but X is gonna be the best place for you. If you're selling expertise-driven coaching, info products, agency services, and most software, YouTube is gonna be your best platform. Enterprise software is gonna be LinkedIn and some YouTube, and then most of the remaining software is gonna be split between X and YouTube. That's the one category that kind of fits across many. If you have a visual dominant brand in fashion, beauty, home decor, lifestyle, Instagram is gonna be your hero platform. If you have mass appeal consumer goods, impulse buys, or consumer SaaS that doesn't really appeal to tech Twitter, TikTok is probably gonna be your best platform. If you sell local brick and mortar services, restaurants, gyms, HVAC, Facebook is gonna be your best platform. And if you sell Gen Z entertainment or any augmented reality type campaigns, Snapchat's gonna be your best platform. Now, of course, most businesses have 1 or 2 that they split between, and we're gonna go through how to break the tie in a second. But if there's one that's a clear and dominant winner for you, you don't need to filter any further, just pick that one and then pick the hero conversion type. Now we have one more step in the process for how to break the ties. I think you're gonna like it, but just a recap on where we've been so far. On step 1, we defined all the possible social media platforms and content types, just so we could have a directory of options. We then ruled out the ones that don't have an algorithm pushing your stuff to a discovery feed, basically playing social media on hard mode. In step 2, we narrowed down the hero conversion content type for each of the remaining platforms so that we knew if we were to play on this platform, which we'd get the most push and easiest growth from. And then in step 3, we walked through the audience filter. Obviously, where your customers are is where you want to play, but we broke down for each platform who the dominant audience type would be. So at this point, if you still haven't decided where to play and where to build that content engine, it's because you're still unsure for exactly where your audience plays. It's split between a couple that you've talked to people on both. All right, now the last step, step 4, is the tiebreaker step. And more importantly, we're gonna go through a bunch of comparisons, different scales that help map the value and effectiveness of the platform content type combinations. As a reminder, these are the 9 combinations that are the finalists that we're considering. You've got Instagram short form videos, TikTok short form videos, YouTube medium form videos, Facebook short form videos, Snapchat short form videos, LinkedIn either short form text or short form videos, and Threads and X short form text. Anytime I try to build a strategy, I like to compare apples to apples across as best I can. So what I've done is I've taken those 9 different combinations and I've plotted them across 5 different scales to give you a sense for what the weakest and strongest platforms are in different categories. Now, as you look at these, the left side is the weaker side. That's not what we want. The right side is the stronger side. That is what we want. So the first scale is level of effort. On one side, it's high level of effort, takes forever to make one piece of content. On the good side, it's low level of effort. You could make these fast. So we're gonna plot all 9 of those across this scale so you can get a sense for how much or little effort it would take to make. The second scale is AI disruption potential, ranked from low to high. Based on this content type, how soon is AI gonna be able to match and or beat your content and flood the market? The third scale is customer LTV, from low to high. How much money in LTV is a customer on each platform likely to spend? Where are the high value customers spending time? The fourth scale is conversion potential, from low to high. How easy or difficult is it to get a person to convert on a free lead magnet or booking a call or having your product sold based on one piece of content? And lastly, content half-life, from short to long. How long can a piece of content live without getting weighed down by the zeitgeist and fading to oblivion? Again, all of the left sides of the scales are the bad sides. All of the right side of the scales are the good sides. We want our content platform and type to be as far right as possible. So for example, you can see when it comes to level of effort, YouTube videos obviously take the most amount of time to make each rep. Short form text on X, LinkedIn, or Threads are the quickest to make. When it comes to AI disruption, you can see YouTube will be the last to be disrupted, short form text will be the first to be disrupted. On customer LTV and conversion potential, LinkedIn and then YouTube have the highest value customers, Snapchat have the lowest. And lastly, on content half-life, YouTube lasts the longest. You could have a YouTube video resurface years after it was made. Snapchat, those things are gone in a couple of days. Now, if you were to score each combination with points based on where it fits across all 5 scales to get a total aggregate score, this is what the leaderboard would look like. Now, I'll admit, these rankings probably underweight level of effort and overweight customer LTV and conversion ability, but you can start to see the broad strokes of where the dollars actually live on certain platforms. Given these rankings, I'd probably rule out Snapchat and Threads from the list as well. I just wouldn't start there unless your business is perfectly made for those. So here, you're really left with 7 options. And at this stage, most people are probably interested in my recommendation. Personally, I think video content is the last frontier. I think it's the hardest to replicate. I think it'll take the longest for AI to beat. I think it's the richest form of media, and it's the easiest to accrue your personal brand. Either short form video or medium form video, depending on which platform is best based on where your customers are. This is why I have gone all in on video for my companies. Everything I do is video. I made this channel to help people with video. I believe video is the last frontier. Okay, so at this point, you've gone through the full 4-step filter process to pick the best content platform and content type to build your content engine. Again, you don't need to build everywhere at first. If you're starting out or you have nothing working, pick one and go all in. I'm gonna tell you exactly how to do that in a second. As a recap, we listed all possible options. We narrowed them down based on which ones have an algorithm push. We filtered by our unique audience avatar where our customers lived, and then we broke the tie based on a series of scales and factors for where the most opportunity lives. Now, once we've picked, the real work begins. From here, no matter which platform combination you chose, here's the 7-step process to build the content engine. Step 1 is to figure out what content formats on that platform in that type are already working for your specific customers. The easiest way to do this is to make a creator list of people that are already winning and study them and then reverse engineer. Step 2 is to reverse those patterns and formats that are working and then use that as a baseline. Winners make winners, so you gotta find the winners. Step 3 is to execute the quality, quantity, quality accordion. And this helps you figure out how much content at what quality you should be making. When you're starting out, first focus on getting your quality up to a 7 out of 10. However many reps, however often it takes, get your quality to a 7 out of 10. Once you're there, do not go to an 8, 9, or 10. Stay at a 7 out of 10 and focus on getting your quantity to the optimal platform quantity. For short form videos, it's 5 to 7 videos per week, which is 1 per day. For medium form videos on YouTube, it's 1 video per week. For short form text, it's 5 short form text posts per day, 25 to 35 per week. That is the optimal content quantity for each platform. 7 out of 10, get the quantity. Once you have that quantity locked in, go back to quality and boost from 7 to 9. If you can get a 9 out of 10 quality at the optimal content quantity, you will be elite in your category. So that's how you have to build the volume system. Step 4, post consistently for 6 months at that 9 out of 10 quality and the optimal content quantity. Step 5, respond to all comments to increase your surface area for fandom. Get those people to the DM as they come in. Step 6, ramp all interested parties via automation, whether it's ManyChat, Phantom Buster, or Twitter automation, into a lead magnet so you can capture their email. This is where Substack becomes valuable, having that as a back-end piece to whichever main primary channel you picked. And then step 7 is to use email to sell. This is a whole nother video, but email is really where all the sales should live. This is the game. If you do this, you will have a content engine that is printing leads for your business. Now here's the deal. This whole content strategy really boils down to this. You should either pick short form text, short form video, or medium form video on YouTube. These are the strategy optimal content type paths to pick. And you only need one, just pick one. You will of course add on other content platforms and types as you get cooking, but don't get distracted by all of that. Get one working first and then scale it. Now, if you want to learn how to run the short form text playbook, either on LinkedIn, X, or Threads, I'm not your guy. There are many channels on YouTube that are great for that. Go look for those. But if you want to run the short form video or medium form video on YouTube playbooks, I don't think there's any better channel or person in the world to help you go from 0 to crushing. If you want the short form video playbooks, the systems, the options, the formulas, you want the whole package, either for Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or LinkedIn, I have all that at shortform.academy. And if you want the full YouTube playbook, I'm not talking YouTube podcasts, I'm not talking YouTube shorts, I'm talking medium form talking head YouTube like this. If you want that playbook, I'm putting together the best program ever created for YouTube. I've got a waitlist below. I'm only launching it once to the waitlist at the discounted price. So if you want that or you think you might want it, make sure to join the waitlist below. All right, guys, that's all I've got for this video. As a recap, we broke down the full process for how to go through picking which social platform is best for you to build your content engine for your business. As always, the whole reason I made this channel is to help business owners get better at content. So if that's you and you're trying to level up, make sure to subscribe. And if you like this stuff and you want to be in a community with lots of other entrepreneurs, 25,000 others, make sure to join Wavy World. I have a free invite link below. There's no reason you shouldn't be in there. And as always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.